Oh, let's see here. I'm trying to get this set up. Right. Maybe here. Okay, get that right. I don't know if anybody show up today. I haven't went live in over a week, I guess. And I don't really have a plan of action today on what I'm going to talk about or what I'm going to do here. Which most of the time that I go live, most streams are that way when I do a stream. So right now I'm basically talking to myself, but I think it's better to do this than have a bunch of dead space before people show up. I'm going to read the prayer of sufficiency. I'd like to say I could memorize it, but I just haven't. Speak, Lord, for your servant hears. Your grace is my sufficiency in all things, and there is a sufficiency of your grace ever present in my consciousness. There is sufficiency of your grace, whatever prison I am in, physical, mental, moral, or financial. There is a sufficiency of your grace present within me now to meet the need of this very moment, and sufficient unto this moment is your grace. The pastor mentioned sufficiency, the Lord's sufficiency the other day. That made me think about this particular prayer from Joel S. Goldsmith. Made me think about it. Let's see here. What else can I do here? I'm trying to think. Oh, let's not mess that up. I got to read that. Got a bunch of comic books that I haven't, not a bunch, but I have several comic books that this past week I've caught up on reading some of the stuff that I've gotten in the past few weeks. Some of it I still have a little while. Like I'm trying to not be reading. I don't want to start and have 4 or 5 different comics going and it take forever to finish each one. What I'm trying to do is steadily, once I start one or two, like there's a couple, I might be reading a couple at the same time, but try to get those knocked out before I go into anything else. That being said, even if like tomorrow I'm planning to get paid, even if I order a few more things and when they come in, I'd like to have everything caught up by the time, if I order anything this week for comic book wise, I'd like to have most everything that I have currently right now that isn't read yet, at least almost all of it read before I start anything else. Like if I order anything this week, it probably won't be here until next week or sometimes a little bit later. So that gives me time to try to read the handful of things that I still have that I have not even started yet. Anyway. I noticed a big difference in what is this here? So I've noticed a big difference in well, right before I went live, I kind of looked at my YouTube studio analytics. I don't look at them that often. I mean, it pops up every week and gives you analytics. But I was noticing since I haven't been streaming, and about the only thing that I've really done for the channel every day is about the only thing I've done other than 1 or 2 shorts here and there has mainly been Jesus Calling, which is fine. But I noticed just when I looked at the recap for the week just now, a little bit ago, it was like 400 and so many people tuned in to you. Where when I went back a week before, it was like, I want to say it was like a 2,000 something people tuned in. But when you're getting, when I get that kind of thing, when it says, on a recap, if it says that many, if 1,000 something people tuned in, most of the time, those people have only been tuning in to the shorts. Like some short I put up that week or something might have hit. It might have resonated with the people or whoever. So a lot of times when I get a recap that says 1,000 something or more people tuned in this week, I believe last week it said 2,000 something. This week so far it was only 400 like almost 500 people tuned in. And so the point being is, I guess the point being, by looking at that, I realized I've slowed down immensely the ratio of subscribers I was gaining and view hours and all that. But in the overall gist of things, it's better for me to have slowed down the past few weeks so that I could try to reconfigure and deal with my own, personal things that are going on in my head or maybe even not going on in my head. It's not always that but I've been doing a lot of kind of introspection. I've also been doing I've also been slacking. Like some days have been good for me to just take and pace myself and not do hardly anything. But then there's other days that, I'm trying to do more things in that day. Like today, so far, I've gotten up, made a video, and then I decided to go ahead and go live right now. So, and I saw that somebody was trying to watch. I don't know if you're still watching. It's went back down to 0. So, and since I hadn't went live I was thinking it's been over a week since I went live. Can't remember what day it was the last time I went live, but I think it was during the week. I went live like the week before last. Let's see, we're on Tuesday today. I might have went live last week, but I think it was more like, might have been a Monday, could have been a Sunday. I don't even know. And it's early morning, so I don't know. I'm trying to get back in the mind frame. Like the past couple of days, I've gotten up and went ahead and knocked out the Jesus Calling video. Yesterday, I did a Jesus Calling video, and then I went ahead and did a little bit of reading from the Fifth Agreement, a Toltec Wisdom book. And I realized I've done about 7 of those videos. I'm doing them in short form, like 3 minutes or less, so that they're just coming up as shorts. But today I went through and put them all onto a playlist called the Fifth Agreement. And I know that there was one particular viewer that really was excited that I'm starting to read those, and I don't know if she's still keeping up with it or not. But let's see. For the day speaks to me, for the day brings along peace. Will it be or will it not? Hey, 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 oh, yeah. Hey, nay, hey, oh, yeah. Yeah, me, no, oh, yeah, tell, yeah, yeah. Bless us, Lord, bless us. The big kahuna speaks to us if we listen. Sometimes it's that we're not paying attention. But the big kahuna has spoke loud and clear to me this morning and told me it was necessary for me to do my video early, and it was necessary. Well, it didn't say it was necessary, but it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and go live. Since I feel in a better spirit, 2 days in a row, I've gotten up earlier, went to church 2 days ago. Uh, Now, yesterday there was some time that I felt a little off, but I'm going through some things. I'm still trying to, I'm still trying to battle, wanting to slip back into a habit, of like, so we're creatures of habit in this world. So sometimes it's easier to just fall back into something that seemed like the answer when we know it isn't. But sometimes it's easier to try to think we're fixing a problem by going and reverting to an old way, whether that be through drinking or overeating. I've gained a lot of weight in the past year. Last year I was down to 213 at one point, man, and I was trying to get to 200. But I hit a snag, At one point, I cut my foot open. I was back into my heavily drinking. I'd been drinking already a little bit and not slowing down. And then I cut my foot. That put me on like physically not being able to do a whole lot there for a minute. And then I just then I lost my ability to do streaming for a little while, like not as much as I wanted. And, just started slowing a lot down on making videos and doing a whole lot of content and just barely doing what I could. And then, slowly, over a period of time, I've gotten less physically active. Of course, there's a few physical ailments and things that happen, like having my back cut on at one point. Like last year, I had my cut foot, and then I also had my back worked on a couple of different times, cyst-wise. This year, I've even had it done once. So I've been, but fortunately, for a few months now, I haven't had any problems with a cyst on my back. That's something that, now that I speak of it, it's probably going to speak it up, right? No, I've been trying to monitor it, make sure if I feel any lump or anything back there, I get it taken care of. But so far, so good. I need to try to call and set up something about my hernia before my back goes bad again. Because what's happened is I've had a hernia for a couple of years, and but every time I get ready to approach it and talk to him about it, I have a cyst pop up on my back. Then we got something leaking, and I'm having to deal with that. Take antibiotics. He wants that to clear up before he can cut on my stomach. Right now, I don't have any open wounds. I don't have like a cyst on my back. It actually would be a good idea for me to call down there and say, "Hey, is there something we can set up so he can see me about scheduling and fixing this hernia?" Because that will be, even if it's like same day surgery. I don't know if hernia is something that I think I can go in and come out that day, but it is something that for a week or two after you get it done, it's going to be like slow moving. I'll have to be more like cautious of what I'm doing and lifting and stuff like that. So let's see. Something that's cool that I got this past week from Dr. Ben's Comics. And I know nobody's watching, but I'm going to show this so that I can highlight it, and then I'll share this. He had asked me I made an order from him a few months back, and he sent me what I ordered, but plus a few extra little things. Now, he had asked me if I'd gotten this. It's called No Legs. Now, it's going to be reversed to you. I don't know how I'm able to, I don't know how, if there's a way for me to make my image back right. I don't know how to do that. Not when I'm doing live streams. If somebody knows, let me know. But this is a pretty cool little, like, the quality of it. I've got the other things right over there. But we're just on a live stream. I really like the cardstock that is used to make this comic, this underground comic. I like Dr. Ben's style. You can see, like, he's a cartoonist more so, but I have seen that when I'm watching him or seeing some of the things he shares on X, like some of the things he draws during, there'll be other comic creators doing draw streams, and he'll be in their chats, and he'll be drawing along with them, and he does some really interesting stuff. If you get a chance, you can go check out Dr. Ben's comics on YouTube. I'm going to highlight this that I'm saying right now and showing you. He also sent me this little thing. This was pretty cool. Country Killer versus Dog Pound Junk haystack match. It's like his a little thing for, a little comic type wrestling here. Pretty cool, I think. The thing that I really, 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 really dug was this. Now, I'm digging everything he's doing. And I know that he's really into Jack the Ripper stuff and like that kind of lore and like some of the older serial killer things, but this is called Babies from Hell. Kind of like based off of, From Hell, the old comic and then of course there was it's comics about Jack the Ripper. We're not talking about the movie. Not that, I don't think we're talking about, that stupid, anyway. This is pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. The one that really intrigued me was the elephants in here that are hanging up, like right here. You got this big elephant approaching this dude, and then you got this one hanging like, I think it was a killer elephant. But it makes me think of Elephant also, that's going to be done by, All Caps Comics by, Ethan Van Sciver has outlined the story and then has somebody writing it and drawing it. But he pretty much, kind of outlined the story for it about a killer elephant. Good stuff here, man. Like I said, I'm going to highlight this. We're going to highlight that. That should make 5 minutes of me talking about Dr. Ben's comics there. And it's not a review. Well, I am going to say good stuff. I really enjoy what he does. He had said that I think originally the order I made, he had intended on these things were going to be in that package, evidently, and they didn't get put in there. And that's why he had hit me up a few weeks ago and was like, hey, man, did you get this? And I was like, no. And so now I have them. And anyway, that's how it goes, isn't it? Okay. Oh. I've been on here 20 minutes. We had one person tune in and didn't stay. I don't know what's going on. Of course, nobody has been used to me doing live streams for a little over a week. So truthfully, I didn't intend really to catch many people. And most people are used to me being on in the afternoon. That's the truth. Most of the time when I go live, I'm doing it like, a lot of times I'm doing my live streams. And if you just tuned in, I was showing off some little underground comics that Dr. Ben sent me that I think was meant to be in my original package. I just put them back in the plastic, so if you missed it, I was kind of showing a little bit of the inside and just talking about them. And I just highlighted that. So it's going to be, I'm going to be able to, it's going to be shared on the channel as like a highlight as a video. I'll probably retitle it, showing off Dr. Ben's comics. And then I'll try to link a link to his channel in the description so people can go over there and subscribe to him. And I know I'm on Greycloudyday, and I plan on using Grey Cloud's Thoughts as the main place I'll talk about comics, but I haven't even uploaded like a really, it's been probably 2 or 3 weeks since I've done a video over there. I think I showed off, I think I did a couple of unpacking, like showing some comics that I have received in the mail, but I haven't talked about them. Like I haven't went back and said, hey, I read this and this and this and this. Or I got this and I recommend it. It's a lot smaller channel, and I've been doing, like, if you're someone that watches me regularly, even just on this channel, the past few weeks have been bumpy for me. And I was saying, I don't know who's watching right now, but I was talking about right before I went live, I looked at the recap for this week, and due to me not going live, due to me really not doing a whole lot of shorts either this week, it really, the number of people that tuned in was far less than what I'm used to. But when you're doing a lot of shorts and stuff, there's a lot of shorts I put up that seem to catch people's attentions too. Like, especially if I'm playing the drums or if it's something about outside, those get pretty good views on the short section. So something I started the other day, I read the preface to this. And I guess what it is what I read was the original preface, maybe. And then you go, and then I get to the next thing I will read, because I haven't got into the actual nitty gritty of the graphic novel, the drawings and stuff yet. But I'm just now really, really starting to I'm starting to explore all of this, the cartoonist style art and stuff from the past. So even though Will Eisner is well known by a lot of people, I knew of the Eisner Awards and all of that stuff. But for me, I wasn't aware of how important it was and how great of an artist and how significant this guy is. So to get a contract with God and just read the preface written by him, I believe it was written by him. But then you get, the next thing I'll be reading is a preface for the 2000 edition. So I'm really excited about this, and it's opening me up to some new concept and new art. I've long, like somebody asked me on X the other day, and I'm sorry if I'm boring you guys, man. You can, if you're watching, you can chime in the chat and bring up something else. But I was asked, well, it was a general question for everybody. Like, what's your favorite superhero, or top comic book superhero? And like, I've been so out of, like, I have some superhero stuff, but even before I quit comic book collecting years ago, the main type of comics I was mostly into at the point, like my superhero phase and all that kind of stuff ended after high school. Like not long, like Image started. I'd been into DC and Marvel, of course, but I'd already found Dark Horse. I was big into Dark Horse. I was big into Marvel's side publishing company, Epic, and it was more adult-oriented, less superhero and more science fiction, fantasy, and like real life some stuff. I got into First Comics, Eclipse Comics. I was really into anything more independent. It took me a long time to find my way around to like actual underground comics. Like I'd say it's only been in the past few years that I've recently really gained a love for the more like stuff that's black and white, stuff that I sometimes I prefer a comic to be black and white. Oh, let's see what we're doing here. Let me see what we're doing here. I'm going to do a little something for a minute. I figured, why not? I'm going to improvise something. Try to anyway. I'm sitting here thinking about life. Sitting here wondering why. Sometimes it's not so easy, is it? Sitting here thinking about life. Sitting here thinking about why. Sometimes it's not so easy. But other days you get up and it seems to go so well. Seems like you crawled out of a hole from hell. I don't know, but I've been told some people don't grow old. They die young. But sometimes you gotta keep on going and you have no choice. And you get old and it's no fun. Oh, that felt pretty good there, guys. I'm gonna highlight that. Then I can go back and share that. I wasn't intending on doing any beating on the little kit, but let me see. Someone tried to call me. Is it somebody I need to call back? Sorry, guys. I'm just trying to. Okay. What I was trying to do is I scrolled down. I saw notifications. I saw a missed phone call. I have it on Do Not Disturb, but it was probably a spam. It wasn't like a number in my thing. So, welcome everybody. I see a couple people maybe watching. I'll be on that. I'll try to. I think I'll improvise here in a minute again. That felt good to do that though. Like it's been a few days since I beat on this little kit, and I think a few days back I messed around with it. But if you're just tuning in, like I said, I've had a few weeks of some more down type time. Like I've been just kind of. I'm trying not to lose your attention, but I'm just kind of catch you up if you're just tuning in. Like I haven't been streaming much. I think it's been over a week, like probably a week and a half ago that I did the last stream, and I think that was like it went all right. I think a few people showed up, but there's been something that's kind of bogging me down, and I think mainly it's been myself. I've been just too caught up in my head. There've been some days where it's been nice, like the first week that I kind of slowed down and just like I don't have to stream every single day. That first week, I kind of enjoyed it, but then like last week, it was like, every day I found myself going, I need to stream because I enjoy streaming and I enjoy talking to you guys. But something hadn't been feeling right, so I was like, I don't want to go on a stream when I'm going through whatever it is that I'm going through. But sometimes getting on here and going live has helped me get through those days like I was having. And I realized that I was like, that it helps me to communicate with other people through the chat, or sometimes if I decide to use StreamYard or Restream, I can have guests on. I almost used Restream or StreamYard this morning, but I wasn't sure how long I'd be on here. And I've said over and over, if I'm going to open it up for somebody to maybe be coming on here and sharing the screen with me, I want to make sure that I'm at least going to try to be here an hour or longer. Because I think, especially if someone has a channel, and I think, of course, like things happen, but I just, in my mind, like when I start it and I'm going live by myself, I never know that I'm going to go an hour. I never know if something's going to be uncomfortable and I just want to end it. If it's me just by myself, that's okay, kind of. But when it when it's opening up the doorway for someone else to come in and maybe be like a guest, and you know maybe you don't have a topic, but you're just talking and having a good time, and other people are getting to know them and maybe go check their channel out. You want to be able to like give them enough time to be on here and get some eyeballs on them. That's the way I look at it, you know. So anyway, thanks for hitting the like button. I meant to say that when we had both people. I saw that two people were watching. And of course, my counter never is right. Like right now it's showing 0, but you could be still watching. Because you hit the like button and it wasn't even showing anybody watching. So, but prior to that, a minute before you hit the like button, it was showing 2 people. So. Oh, and if anybody is watching, I hadn't made an official video to say anything about this, but I mentioned it in a live stream, I think, and I mentioned it maybe on a video this past week, like on Jesus Calling video. I don't remember. But the giveaway I was doing for 50 things that really matter pretty much is over. I didn't realize that it had been up as long as it had, and then like a few weeks ago, I think the original video was up for had been up for 2 months. I had 2 people comment on the original video. I had one person comment on I think a post in the community about it, or either on another video in the comment section about it that wasn't even related to the giveaway. And then I couldn't remember where that comment was. So they had said that they would like to be put in there, and I was trying to get them to understand that I needed them to go and just, comment on the actual video. I don't mean to seem like a butthole about that. It's just, if there's simple instructions of, hey, you want to be in the giveaway, comment on this video, hit the like button, and be subscribed. And, occasionally you do an update and tell people to go watch that video, and it's like, anyway, the point is there was only 2 people I had names for, Mama Teresa, and then we had Victoria, who is a regular here. And so this week I have I've already sent Teresa her book. Since I had 2 copies of the book, and there's 2 people that wanted the chance to win, I'm sending each a copy is what I'm doing. So there you go on that. So I'm sending one to Victoria. Hopefully I'll get that out in a few days. I think I get paid tomorrow. But I need to write a note and stuff. But just in case anybody is watching and was curious about that, I was just going to let people know that that's what's going on. You see, I was kind of I've been ever since the last time I streamed, and I haven't went back on and came on. It seems like every day I've had a hard time feeling like it was the right, I've been nervous about going live, and I've been I think the same thing that keeps trying to bog me down and make me think that I'm not achieving anything here, and that I only got a few years left in life. I'm old and things like that. Anything that it can do to make me not be positive and not move in the right direction. If the enemy can keep me stagnant and keep doubting myself and thinking that I'm not doing anything worthwhile, and then get me stuck in a place where I'm not doing a whole lot, and I'm just existing, then it keeps me, that's where it wants me. It wants me to be less active. It wants me to not be communicating with people. It wants me to be in a darker place. And, you can believe it or not, but that's just where I've been, is that it's been a struggle between my mind and then also an outside thing that doesn't want me to keep going in the direction I have been going. Well, it wants me to be going in the direction I have been going here recently, because as long as I keep doing that, then I'm not achieving anything. I'm not adding anything to the world. I'm just existing and taking up space, and I don't want to be doing that. So, hence this morning I'm doing a live stream because I haven't streamed in a while. And also, I've been keeping up with doing my Jesus Calling videos, but, the past 3 days I've gotten up earlier each day like I used to. Not quite as early, but I've been getting up and starting to make the recordings early again, as early as I can. And then, because the way I used to do it was get a couple things, get up, go ahead and get a couple things done. And then after you've done those few things, if I need to take a break and lay down or sit down or just chill for a little while, I can. But it always feels better to me if I get up, knock out a couple videos, do a few chores, maybe do some studying, and then take the break and relax, take it easy. Because if I don't do much of anything else the rest of the day, at least I did something in the first part of the day, But usually it's like, here lately I've just gotten to where I'm just doing less and less. And so the past few days I'm trying to implement staying on point again. And I don't know what I'm going to end up doing in a few months. Alabama has outlawed the THCA, and I think it goes into effect in July. So I'm going to, like I've been, just ordering the legal route and stuff. So now I'm going to have to find some sort of I don't really want a street connection here. Anyway, I'm hoping to find a connection. There's enough people I do associate with them, X, that I think might be legit, that I might still be able to have something, as long as it's good deals. Might still be able to have something shipped to me, even though it's like a risky thing. I just rather. Basically, what I'm saying is, I ain't gonna be able to order it like I was, and just go to a store now and get something that is pretty much. That's not the end of the world, though. Prior to the hemp bill and a loophole, years back, I had to buy it off just somebody anyway. I just didn't like how sometimes you were paying high prices for sometimes stuff that wasn't that much better than the stuff you could get for cheaper, and that's where it was like kind of shitty. But yeah, I think I'm going to enjoy this Will Eisner contract with God. And I'm really enjoying just getting to know a little bit about the guy, like reading the preface and all that. See this. And yeah, it's very adult-like stuff, mature. I'm not going to show that on here. I mean, nothing vulgar. I'm just skimming through this. I haven't read the bulk of it yet. I'm got to go through I got to start with the preface 2000 printing preface here in a minute. Or, I don't know. I might try to pick on reading that today. And live the reward today. Good morning. I'm just looking through my notebook right here. I'm trying to find something to talk about, anything to share with you guys. A couple of you guys have been in and out, or on my end, it's been up. I've had two consistent viewer or people watching for a little while, and then it'll drop down to zero. So I really haven't determined if it's the same people watching and maybe having connection problems, or if it's like someone's tuned in for a minute or two, cut out, a new person came in or not. If you are watching, feel free to say anything in the chat if you want to. You can ask questions, bring up a subject. We can talk about whatever. I'm just trying to get back. Oh, dadgummit. He's running around like a dang. He's gonna get killed. That dog Chewy that got shot over a week ago, a couple of times, is still moving around now. He's running around well enough that he's out there chasing a car. I haven't been letting him stay here. I've been running him off, but he's still around the trailer park. And I just seen my dog Biddy running with him to go after. And that's what's aggravating, because Biddy has been really good, not running after nothing, not really going too far from where she's supposed to be. And now that dog, he's still on three legs. One leg ain't useful, but he's getting in better health now. And now he's running. He just started chasing the car. It's like the next move is he'll be back over there on that property that he shouldn't be on, messing with someone's animal, and they'll be coming over here shooting at him. That's why I haven't wanted to. It was let me just say, it was a hellish day that day. I had to deal with that. He's not my dog necessarily, but I was taking care of him, letting him be here. But he was causing a lot of trouble, man. He was chasing all these different cars, causing my other dogs to want to chase cars. He was going on to people's property, chasing their little dogs or their cat, fucking with people's shit. And that was, one on a Saturday morning, Saturday before last, he was over there, and then they shot at him. I let him in, kept him in all day. When he went out that afternoon, he went over fucking on another property, and they chased him, shot him. He came right over here. I had to get him out of the trailer. Then they come over here. He was up under my porch, and it was just like I was crying. Like, I wasn't bawling, but I was upset because, and the guys that were mad and trying to get the dog was, after the fact, they said, we don't like having to do this, but we can't have this any dog running around here. And I was like, I know. I said, he's really not my dog, but I've been taking care of him. And I was like upset, and they were like, he was like, I know it ain't your fault. He said, we don't even want to be doing this. And I said, but they've got animals over there that you can't, like one guy's building a barn and stuff, and he's got a mule over there. He's got goats he's about to have out and everything. And he don't need dogs that are gonna cause kind of trouble like that. Now my dog Biddy doesn't do anything she's following his lead now. When I seen them barking at a vehicle, she has not done that in over a week since I've been running him off and not letting him stay around here. But he's out there and well enough now so that's going to be a pain in the butt. And I'm just talking and talking and talking and talking. I don't know what else to say, guys. Like I said, I haven't been streaming much, so this morning is kind of me doing a test run on getting myself used to doing this again. Oh. Okay. I wish I had something more exciting to talk about. But that kind of took my brain away. Like, I was in a pretty decent, I'm still in an okay mood, but I was like, when I heard them barking and I looked out and I realized that they're damn, if he hadn't have started barking at that truck going by, she wouldn't have been doing it, and they wouldn't have been out there at the road chasing it. Because she'd been staying around, not been, she's following his lead, and now I can't stop thinking about it. It's kind of aggravating. Because I don't want I don't wish no harm to the dog, but I don't want no headache of, I don't want the dog, like anytime I catch him like near my porch, I run him off, because if he goes and causes trouble and they have to come over this way chasing him and stuff, I hope I don't have to deal with it again as far as him. If I don't want him over here. Like if they have to come in this trailer park and he's up at somebody else's yard in the trailer park or under their trailer or something on their porch and they have to go over there and shoot him or whatever, I'd rather that be dealt with on somewhere else. I don't want to have to, I don't want to deal with it. Because it'd be different if it was my dog, you know, but what I don't want is I don't want Biddy to get well, I'm planning on getting her a collar, I think, tomorrow, and I'm gonna see how well it might go if I put her on a chain or something or a cable. I know it ain't gonna go well because she's never been on one, so. Oh. But whoever stopped by, I appreciate that you stopped by and you're watched. I know that sometimes I know there's several people that have told me that they don't necessarily chime in. There's also somebody that I think told me before that they've seen me plenty of times live, or I think, but they were always on the TV and didn't have the ability to be in the chat and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know if they're watching and maybe on their TV. I feel like I don't know. I know that like I said, I didn't realize I'd even be here this long, like 48 minutes. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I could have had, you know, Ustream or Restream, but my intention was to just come on here, do a short stream, be solo, see who shows up to chat or whatever, and kind of just get myself back in the vibe of doing it. Because, you know, it's just like anything. Like, the more I was doing it, the more comfortable I was with it. And, you know, I was exploring how to do and have guests and do other things with live streaming. So, but that being said, part of the time away from doing as many live streams has been also, the point is I don't want to get so consumed with it. I feel like I was kind of getting to that point where the past few days I've been thinking about it. It was more like chasing the algorithm or trying to chase the watch hours, which I am. You know, like a lot of the point in the live streams and so many of them was to get my watch hours up, because if I can achieve, what is it, I think, once you hit 3,000 watch hours in a year, you can get certain added things where you can be, it's not monetization off of ads or anything, but it's like you can get super chats and super stickers or something like that. And I think some other stuff, maybe, you know, make a store. I don't know how you do it all, but I'm not on here about the money. It's just I would like to. Once you get that number of watch hours, you get a lot of more things, and then it'd be nice to just have the super chat thing in the. Like if I had the super chat in the chat, I wouldn't have to post, like my Cash App or anything like that. But until that's a thing, although using the Cash App is better, really, because it just goes straight to my account. But you know what I mean? If you do the super chat through YouTube, but like it makes it easier because there is like here in the past few weeks. A few weeks ago, somebody was watching and they really wanted to send a couple to $3, but the only way they could do it is through YouTube. And they were, I don't know how. All I can do is put my stuff in the chat, and then but he didn't know his PayPal, so he couldn't. Which I guess a person, if I see him again in the chat, and he still wanting to do that, I mean, I don't know how to. I was trying to figure out how to make a donate button. I don't know how to do that. I went and looked at how to do it, but I don't know. So I think I have to have another type of account to be able to do the donate button. I mean, with PayPal. I'm kind of just rambling, but I figured I might try to run this out to get it out. We're at 52 minutes. I don't think there's going to be many more people show up right now. I guess if I stayed on here, they might. But this is kind of more of a test run because I'm thinking, I was like, well, do a little stream, get back to the used to it. And then, this, once I got off here, I was like, then I can kind of like, what I was going to do after I made the video this morning was my intention was to go in there and smoke a ball and then lay back and watch some stuff on Tubi. And then I was like, well, that's not really like, like the point of, like I'm feeling well enough that I can do something other than that. And so that's when I decided, like I felt like the spirit moved me to go ahead and kickstart into doing a live stream. And if anything, it gets me used to doing it again. And like nobody was planning it or knowing it. And also my thought was, okay, if I feel comfortable enough, and obviously I do because I've been here almost an hour, it might be a possibility. Back a few months ago, there was some days where I'd do a live stream in the morning and I'd do a live stream in the afternoon. So I knew that I was like, well, better start now than never. I wanted to start yesterday and something just kind of kept me from doing it. Like something, I don't know what it was. It was like a mental fog or something. I didn't know. I couldn't quite understand what was making me not want to do a live. And my intention was like, I should kick the week off with that, but I didn't. I figured it'd be a slow go, just get used to doing it again. Anyway, I'm well, what I'm thinking is like, plus it was still, I'm still not, I hadn't really, well, I don't have much plans or anything, but it's supposed to rain some more here in a little while. And I'm just kind of waiting for that too. I was anticipating the rain. Because I like, like, well, I'm gray clouded, but anyway, but I like a good, like, I like rainy days. Not all the time or nothing, but like, I was thinking it was gonna be raining more already than it has in the past few days. But I think it's been raining more in the surrounding area than it has in where I'm particularly at. It's rained here, but not like I was seeing it being called for. And so, but today, like we had a good bit of rain in the middle of the night. Uh, I haven't looked at the weather in probably an hour and a half or so, but it was showing the chances of the rain coming again is it will be getting well, it's around 10 o'clock now or a little after or whatever. So I think it was between 10 and 12 that we start getting some more possibility, like stronger chances. But it's supposed to be kind of like a statewide today in Alabama. Most of the state is going to be like severe thunderstorms, warnings and stuff. And it said in some areas a possible tornado warning or watch or something. I haven't really looked to see if there's any out right now. What's going on? Like, all I saw was like an article this morning before I started doing a video or anything. When I finally got up, decided to do something. But oh hey, thanks for hitting the like button. I'd asked earlier. Someone had hit the like button without me asking, and then after they hit the like button, I mentioned it again. But by the time I did that, I think the other person there was another person watching at the time, and they had I think they had disappeared already by the time I. Oh, appreciate it though. So you're just tuning in, or if you're just tuning in, I've showed. I showed a few things that I got from Dr. Ben's comics this past week, and I finally got around. I got them last week, really, but I can't remember what day it was, but I got them, and I finally got around to looking at them this past about. What was it, about 4 days ago, I think, maybe? I lose track of time, man. But I finally got to look at those, and it's some comics that he had hit me up a few weeks back and said, "Did you get this?" And I was like, "No, that wasn't in the package." And so apparently he intended those to be in the first package I got about a month and a half or whenever it was, a couple months ago. And it wasn't, so he was just getting that to me because I guess he had found it and knew that it was supposed to. But I talked about that a little bit ago, like earlier on in the stream, and then I highlighted it so that after this, when I get off of here, I can go into that highlight and rename it, like, because I'm talking about Dr. Ben's comics, I want to rename it something, and then in the description, I'm going to put a link to Dr. Ben's comics channel. If I was using Restream or StreamYard right now, I could, it'd be, if I had his links, I could put them in the chat. But like on through the YouTube app, even if I have them right now, I can't do it and put them in the chat myself. But nobody knew that I was going to go live today anyway. Like, well, I knew there was a possibility because I was thinking I was going to go live yesterday and didn't. But but yeah, like I was talking about also I was talking about that I got a lot of different comic books that I'm not a lot, but I've got a handful of comics that I'm still haven't even started yet that I'm wanting to. Now these are some right here that I've already read. Like I'm behind on my second channel. I want to do a short little video and show a little bit of these and just kind of give them a plug, Blood and Sword. I've been meaning to do that. I've just been in funky place here lately, and I think if you just tuned in, I was talking about that also earlier. Just where I've been kind of not as active. Like I've not been doing live streams as much for the past few weeks. Like this is the first live stream in over a week, and then even posting like on X and stuff, it's been very bare minimum. I was very active a while back, and then like all of a sudden everything just, I'm kind of like, "Ugh." But the past few days, I feel myself getting more back into the swing of things. We go through those spells sometimes, you know, like I was talking about it earlier. If you weren't here, and but I appreciate anybody that is watching. Like it used to be like something where I couldn't figure out. Sometimes when in the early days when I started streaming, because there was such few people that even like were even tuning in to stream my streams, it'd be where like sometimes, especially early on, because I had an issue one time where the chat wasn't working, like, and I didn't know it until after we ended. Like, so there for a minute, I got to where like anytime I saw someone watching and nobody, if it'd been a while, like I've been on here like an hour now, and I haven't seen anybody in the chat, so I'm curious. I, it's gonna suck if I end this stream and then I find out like through y'all coming in and commenting or something that this I'm looking at the dog out there. Okay, but yeah, it just dawned on me. I was like, there could now, of course, I see where I put something in the chat, so it worked at some point because like I set this stream up and then came in after I set it up into the chat so I could post the my information. Okay, I was checking my notifications. I also wanted to check my battery life. Okay. So, I guess what I'm saying is I don't know if anybody has tried to put anything in the chat and then it not. I'm wondering if. Okay. Okay. So if you were wondering what I just did, I kind of backed out and then came right back in to see if that might, just in case anything was, I thought that if there is any glitch going on, then that would fix it maybe. So, but I'm starting to see, it looks like I'm starting to see a couple people, or maybe might be a couple newer people or something. It's starting to register like up. Well, it went from 1 to 2 to 3. So I don't know. I'm not that worried about that because the counter on who's watching it moves up and down all the time. Even like I said, there have been plenty of times that I was seeing that people are watching and they were interacting in the chat, but for a second they don't say anything, and then all of a sudden the number drops. Like let's say it goes to 0 for some reason, and I'd have to mention like that I didn't know if any, like anybody was watching, like if someone hadn't said anything in a while. But like then someone would chime in and be like, "No, we're still here," and I'd realize that the counter on the YouTube app is not something you can always be like. It's not. It's not going to always be reading exact. Like, also, it probably has to do with people's connections and stuff. Give me a second. I'm trying to see if I need to run that dog off real quick. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back. Oh, I didn't intend to be here this long, but I'm going to stay. If you're going to watch, Biddy, Biddy, what you doing, Biddy? What you doing, Biddy? Come on, Biddy. Come on, girl. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't need to. Yeah, you're gonna get in trouble when you following up. What have you been up under? Huh? Dang, you dang dirty, ain't you? You got mud, or is that mud, or was you up under a car? You trying to tell her that she trying to tell Biddy that she'll get in trouble following up. If she tries to follow Chewy around, now that he's getting better, he's starting to chase that. He chased that car earlier and stuff, and then she followed. But she's got some kind of. I don't think it's mud. I think it's. I think she was up under like a. She might have went up under something that was oily, or she could have been. She could have rubbed it. Might have been in the. Could be mud. It could be like the muddy pond type. No, her whole body would be dirty then. I don't know. Okay. Well, the counter was showing up to 3 people a minute ago, and then I got up. I was thinking Chewy was out there, and I wanted to run him off, but she was outside, and she needed to come in, so I'll turn it around so you can see her if you want. Oh, bitty bitty. Oh, bitty bitty. This is bitty bitty. This is bitty bitty. I gotta get her some. I gotta get her some flea and tick medicine tomorrow. I'm gonna get flea and tick medicine. I want to get a collar. I don't know if it's gonna go well trying to put her on the cable or something, but I'm thinking about trying it. And she don't have a choice, but I don't know. She does pretty good as long as if there's not another doll around for her to mimic and follow after that's doing bad, she does good. So, I'll be right back. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah, it is. Oh. dog. Yo, wet butt. Oh, wet butt. Okay, I might have to go get some damn water. Okay. I probably ran everybody off when I got up earlier and let the dog in. Let me see what time it is. 10:48. Oh. Yep. If any of you were there, I don't think you are now. Well, there's somebody. I don't know if that was somebody that doesn't been here. A minute ago, it was about three people here, but I'd gotten up to think I was thinking I was going to run a dog off, but he wasn't out there. My dog came in, and that kind of interrupted the flow of things. We were right at an hour at that time, so what I'd been talking about was I'd been here for right at an hour, and nobody had said anything in the chat. So it occurred to me, is there something wrong with the chat right now? I don't know or not. But I backed out. Like I kind of closed down. Like I backed out for a second to my home screen. And then when I came back in, it reconnected. And I was thinking if there had been any issue, maybe that would fix it. But I wouldn't know. And, but I appreciate anybody that's watching or listening. I've done a lot of just kind of talking out about why I haven't been live streaming as much and the things that's kind of been just some stuff been going on where like I keep saying something's been holding me back, but initially it ends up being myself. But there's something like I feel like there's some kind of darkness that's trying to keep me in a certain way of thinking and make me more fearful, like whether that just be a nervous fear, not like fear of anything in particular, but like nervous fear of going live. Like I've had this nervousness about just coming back and doing a live stream and trying to connect with anybody that's on YouTube that might want to watch. But I've also had a lot of nervousness through my day, just in general. And then there's been some days have been pretty good and just nice, not worrying about doing whether I did a stream or not worrying about too much other than just relaxing. But after I do that, for just after so many days of that, I start realizing that something's got to give. I got to get active again, and whether that be online or physically in my life. But I do need to get physically more active. I was talking about that earlier too. Active meaning like I need to get my walks back and stuff, and my diet. I'm gonna try to work on a certain diet this week, mostly meat. But I've just kind of like I've gained a lot of weight since last year. I talked about that earlier too. I'm kind of just recapping anything that, in case you just tuned in, looks like you might have just tuned out. So, oh, yeah. At least if I was on my Restreamer on StreamYard, no way on Restream, I could show pictures. I think and pull up things out of my gallery. So this has been a pretty uneventful stream. I appreciate everybody that has tuned in and listened to me about, at any given time. Like I said, this was more of a test run for me to get back into doing this. Like, I want to get good at being on a live stream, and I want to be able to communicate with people. I know that interaction with people is a big thing. It is for me too. Like when I'm watching other people's live streams and I am chatting with them, and they're communicating back because you're chatting. Whether you know, like the bigger channels, sometimes the only way you're going to get a communication going is if you're able to super chat them. But that's just because there's so many people in their chats. So, but I mean, that's a realistic thing. Like I've seen plenty of bigger streams when they first start, and there's only like a few hundred people in there. They'll be reading off. I guess the comments start to come in, but they're slower in the beginning before it gets to the full audience. They'll address certain people's comments without it being a super chat, but then once you get like, you know, several hundred on up more people into a chat, like to 1,000 or more at a time, possibly watching and sometimes chiming in, that's got to be like a hard like thing to learn how to manage. And I imagine like if you've got that many people in a chat, you probably want to have like a team, whether that's in house or like somebody, teaming up with someone that can help manage some of that shit. Like, well, well, I guess that's what the moderators are for. When you get to the point where you have enough people in the chat that's going on, and it's like when you got that many people, when it's like you got to have some kind of moderation of like you can't have too much spamming or people being ridiculous. I was gonna say I saw somebody there, but I don't know if you're still there. If anybody that comes in and watching, as long as I'm on here still, feel free to say something in the chat if you want to. But I think I might, I might wrap this one up because I've been on here an hour and 20 minutes by myself, and I've talked a lot about different things. Hopefully, some people, if they go back and watch this, they'll see some of the answers. If they've been wondering, like anything, if you've been curious to what's been going on, why I haven't live streamed that much, all of that. If you go back in this stream and watch a little bit of it, you'll see me address that a couple of different times, and then talk about just feeling like something's been holding me back here lately, and I've been a little bit reluctant to do as much as I was doing. Trying to learn a better pace so that I don't have a burnout either. I kind of did that last year, and it took me a while to come back from it and like get back to where I was building the channel and stuff. Because I realized there is something going on here, and that I have built, like with the help of the audience, and then, but by the grace of God, I've been able to build somewhat of a, establish something here on YouTube. It's not like it's huge, but it's moving in the right direction as long as I keep attending to it. And live streaming is something that I want to get good enough at, that where like that'll be like, maybe like where we have more interactions and more people tuning in at any given time. And the only way you get there is just keep doing it. But also, like learning how to interact appropriately and be like, I don't know. I don't mean appropriately like meaning anybody else. I'm just talking for myself. Like I'm trying to learn how to not learn, but just be myself, but like also be aware that there's certain things that I am working on in my own personal life that also try to remember that when I'm on camera, there's times that you'll hear me talk, like I try not to, like sometimes in a live stream or something, I might get a little overboard and be cussing more than I normally do in a video, but it's not that it offends me. It's just, it's a personal choice for myself that sometimes, like I just don't, but that being said, of course, during the day, even by myself here at the trailer, throughout the day, I'm often finding myself say certain words and cussing and shit, so. But that's not what I was talking about. Just finding the right vibe, like finding like the just trying to get in the groove. It's like I think doing a live stream is kind of like when I used to play music, in a band. It's like you just kind of like the more you do it, the more comfortable you are with it. And I just like I kind of like the idea that it is live. Like I'm in the moment. If you see me do something fucked up, you see me do something fucked up. You know what I mean? Like it's like more real. It's like, I need to start trying to figure out, I'd like to get where, I want to get back to where I'm trying to practice having some people come on with me and learning how to maneuver that. I do agree with some of the other creators or people that have streamed with me. Probably once I get like, I fouled it up last year, but once I get back to where I have like a computer again, once I do that, I'm gonna hold on to that. Like I got to do something. But once I get when I upgrade to some better equipment and stuff other than just a phone, even if I just get a better phone, but meaning on a computer or a tablet, I think using StreamYard or Restream might be a little bit more functional. It'd just be easier because I'll have a bigger screen and I'll have more, like I'll be able to, like when it's on the phone, it's easier for me to, because when I'm on Restream or StreamYard, I'm trying to learn it, and it's easy to accidentally maybe do something. And I'm figuring someone's told me that I might find it easier if I'm on the computer. There comes the rain. I've been waiting on that. And I appreciate you hitting the like button. I see somebody else tuned in. I was saying I don't know if the chat's working or not. If it is, you feel free to say something. I'm probably going to wrap this one up pretty soon because I've been here about an hour and a half. It just depends, Someone might liable to come in and go, "Hey, you mother, whatever, what are you doing?" And, you know, I've done that often. I've been about to get off the, stop streaming, and someone will come in and actually start talking in the chat, and then I'll be like, "Well, I'm gonna stay," like. But before, but I realized just a few minutes ago that's where I was leading, is that I'm probably going to wrap this up, and it looked like a new person popped in, so I've kind of stayed on for a minute. I was just saying that this went better than I thought, even though, like, I don't know if the chat was, if there's a problem with the chat or not. I was able to type this in there before we started and pin it. But just even someone just letting it play in the background and listening to it, that helps with the watch hours. Like I was saying, I am trying to, you know, but what I realized the past few weeks with less streaming and just trying to get my head together, I don't need to be pushing too hard. It's like it'll happen when it happens and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not here trying to make a buku bunch of money. I want to share my life with people and just, if I make a real connection, people help me out sometimes and stuff, but meaning that if I was to ever generate money through what I do, whether that be through like making shirts or something like that, like just selling some merchandise, I just put that back into making the thing grow and try to figure out things I could do to make like maybe better content or things I can do to upgrade and be able to stream better. So it wouldn't be like that I'm ever think that it would be a string. Like I think it'd be a lot of work trying to make something just your main income. If it's something you're doing and you really enjoy it, and a lot of people are watching you, and you are able to make the money, that's kind of cool. But I just think I know that it would be a lot to handle if you started getting, you'd have to. I already mismanage things so much anyway. Like, I don't want something to be take off so to the point where I can't handle it. Like it kicks me into some kind of nervous breakdown. I don't mean money wise. I just, well, not money wise. Like I would, but I don't know what I'd do. But doing anything artistically or creatively, like music, writing stories or poetry, any of that kind of stuff, but especially when I played the music and played in front of people, we were never playing music because we were trying to achieve some monetary success. If we just wanted to put our music out and if people liked it, that was cool. And it grew, it kind of over a 4-year period. It was nice to play some of the places I got to play and be in front of people. But it's like you make connections with people, and that was what I was about. It's like the handful of people you're able to connect with and get on that level with, like people that don't just see you as at first maybe they're a fan, but they get to know you and they see you're kind of just real. Like you're easy to approach, you're easy to just talk to. So it becomes more of a real like like a lot of your like a lot of the people that follow you or watch you or whatever become friends, become family. It was like that playing music, like people that would come to every show, like be at all the practices and stuff, always hanging out. Nowadays it's more through the internet, but same difference, and I'm on a YouTube channel, but oh, well, I'm gonna end this one. I want to. Well, I mean, I keep seeing someone pop. It goes 1 to 0, 1 to 0. If you've been here this for a little while, I hope that I haven't bored you with anything. I've just been kind of getting things off my chest, talking, and getting used to doing a stream again. I'm very grateful today. It's been I got to say that I'm grateful to just even had the initiative to go live and then earlier in the day today. I might do another one later if I'm moved to do it, but I just don't know what I'm going to do yet. And like I said, I'm not sure if the chat was working or not because like I've been here this entire time and there's been a few people watch, but nobody ever said anything. So if the chat was down, I apologize because I don't know what to do to fix that right now in the moment. But the thing is, a few of you guys have been here, you have been listening, you've been watching or listening one. So if you, that is very appreciated because sometimes it's not always about that I need to have feedback other than just, it's like sometimes people come in and they need to share stuff and like in a chat, like I've had plenty of you guys come in and tell me, you were glad to see me and then proceed to tell me that whether your day's bad or not. I enjoy hearing that. I don't enjoy hearing the bad stuff, but when you are going through something and you share it in the chat, I appreciate it, and I appreciate to be able to say that, whatever I can to comfort you, just as well as other people in our chats are usually very nice and very respectful to most people. Like occasionally you get a troll or two, but I don't suspect dealing with too much of that until it gets on up there, and hopefully we'll have enough cool moderators to deal with anybody that comes in being, like I don't want people like censored. So whatever people say, like, but if it's like being directly insulting to other people in the chat and stuff, that is something that I don't want to have going on unless it's like all in jest. Like if you got a chat full of people that all know each other and they're joking back and forth that way, it's different. But if you got a chat full of people that all know each other and we're all being on the same page and we're not being like, we're not cutting up and talking shit to each other, and you get some asshole coming there and trying to do that and you don't even know who it is, then that's, when you gotta either ignore it or like put a stop to it. It's kind of a learning experience. I got the opportunity to see 7 of 9 stream the other night, and that was pretty fun. I don't know if anybody knows who 7 of 9 is. If you're in the Comment Skate community, you know who he is. Very cool dude. I like him. Openly gay guy, like I appreciate people being who they are. I don't judge people. I don't, like make judgments on how people act with me and judge, But I was saying it was a late night stream he was on. I interacted in their chat for a while. Met, there was Darren Wagner there. He was a pretty cool dude, man. The other guy, I can't remember. They kept calling him Gay Dollar, but I think it's J Dollar or something. But he was pretty cool. I could tell. I think he is going. I don't know. I don't know. I think he might be going through something, or he seemed like he, kind of pessimistic. He even kind of said that a little bit. Like he don't have a lot. He's not really. He's not too enthusiastic about a lot of things, especially things that a lot of people talk about on stream and shit. Especially, I could understand, like if you're on a lot of the streams that just talk about comic book skate or comic books all the time, and you're someone that might be in a deep frame of mind a lot, I could see where you'd want to maybe find streams where you can just kind of talk about whatever the hell you want to talk about, or maybe go down a deep rabbit hole sometime. I gotta say that's what I like about BTM review streams is it's not all about comics. If you different days you catch them, sometimes they have topics and they're watching things that are interesting and then it's theories and like I don't always chime in his chats, but I'm watching him and I enjoy watching him review bourbon and stuff. Even though I participate in trying not to do alcohol, even though I fall off the wagon quite often. But I don't, I enjoy watching someone that is into it and is good at what they do. But his streams are interesting because, depending on what night you're watching, sometimes it's just like an open forum. They're just talking about anything. Then specific times they are talking about comic books. And then sometimes they're talking about movies, all kinds of stuff. So I like that a lot, but there's some channels that are specifically just for comic stuff, and that's cool too. That's where hopefully at some point I'll get my ass together, my shit together, and we'll be able to do some of that kind of stuff over on Grey Cloud's Thoughts. That's my thought. I just don't see, like, I'm not really pushing that too much. I kind of have it as a backup channel. But as it organically just kind of grows, we're not at the 100 yet. Once we get to 100, then I probably will kick off doing a stream over there and maybe invite some comic book guys on, and we'll try to grow the channel to where it's mostly like people that are into comics or movies and things like that. And you can come over there and find like fun streams. I want to do that here too, but like I have a different vibe with this channel, I think. Like in the beginning, I was doing everything. I was trying to share my love for toys, my love for comics, talk about books, talk about philosophy, talk about religion, talk about God. And it works, but it's like I'm trying to make this more of this is where you can come and catch a little bit about some stuff that's spiritual, more down to like going to be more just on life, That's what I try to gear it towards. So with Grey Cloud's Thoughts, I think I've gotten away from doing anything over there, but I need to make a video and kind of summarize some of my thoughts lately. It'd be good to do that. Those videos don't get a lot of counts, but it ain't about that. I'm not doing that. I'm not even making money here, and I'm not trying to be like, hell, this has been nice. I'm not worried about it. I'm just going to keep going. Why don't I just keep going? I could just keep going. It's Tuesday. Let's see what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. I wonder where nothing going on in X. Y'all have a good day. Till next time, Mr. Grey Cloud, say turn a moment over and out. Ditto.